everyone. This is Elliot Serrano and Jose Melendez coming to you from Dreamland Comics in Schaumburg, Illinois, once again on the Comic Culture Warrior video channel. Thanks for joining us. This has been a long week for me. I just went to the Windy City Comic Con yesterday, where I did a whole bunch of stuff, which kind of put me behind on a whole bunch of other stuff. Won't bore you with the details, except to say that I'm working furiously to get caught up, and we should be getting these series of segments posted up in a timely manner. I appreciate that now everyone's following the 300 views rule. Mm-hmm. And our view count for our videos does seem to be rising dramatically. So folks are watching the videos, and even more new folks are commenting on the videos.
Yeah, that's actually surprising.
Which is kind of neat. That there are folks out there that we've never heard you comment before. We're also getting a lot of direct messages through YouTube and through the email. So you're welcome to communicate with us. We like hearing from you all. And just again, this is a conversation that we like to have with you folks. There are going to be times during this conversation where we're going to agree and we're going to disagree. And some of you out there know where the disagreements occurred. I'm going to say this. I told Jose this before. As I walked into the shop today, before we started recording, I am never talking politics again. Never. No. I am not bringing up the word. I'm not bringing up any sort of political statement or anything. Because no matter how innocuous I might think it might be, or I make a general statement, I don't want to pick on anybody or whatever, someone's going to be offended by it. And the reality is,
I'm surprised you didn't know that. And if any of you guys caught that in the video when he went on this little tangent about it, I really try to wrap him up and try to all right, you need to get off this fucking subject because, first of all, it's kind of boring for some people. Second of all, there's going to be somebody out there who's not going to agree, and it just doesn't do anything.
And they only not agree, but they get really mad at you. Which, if this were a political talk show, would be different. If this was a two guys sitting in a comic shop talking politics all the time, then fine. But you know what? This isn't a talk show. We don't want to talk about politics. In fact, Jose and I, we never talk politics when we talk comics or anything. I mean, we rarely talk about that sort of thing. So, again, that was me going on a tangent, and I regretted it the moment it came out of my mouth. I think I even said that. I said I knew I was going to step in it. I apologize to anyone out there who I offended. There was no offense meant.
You shouldn't apologize for anything you say.
Some of my best friends are Republicans, or Libertarians, or whatever. Anyway, let's get into a comic book. Speaking of America. Captain America Reborn number 3 came out this past week. And when I stepped into the shop today, Jose gave me a stack of books that he wanted me to read. And he said, read Captain America Reborn because it'll take you 2 minutes to read it. And you were wrong. It took me 3 minutes to read it. 3 minutes. Because, there were some bits there that I needed to double back and make sure I wasn't, misunderstanding. I gotta say, with this book, so far, something, if you haven't read the book, we're 3 issues into a 5-issue mini. Captain America is still, the original Captain America, Steve Rogers, is still bouncing through time, re-experiencing different things. And it seems that with this issue, there's still more just retrospective stuff about Cap's life.
It's not moving anywhere.
I don't get it. Yeah, it's like,
why do I need to... Right. Yeah, so the whole stuff at the beginning with him
and Namor
talking and Namor, it's like, why did that even need to be in there? Why did it just waste 8 pages? I don't understand why it's, and because I guess Brubaker's trying to draw a parallel to they buried Steve Rogers in his actual body in the same place where Namor originally found. So, but you could have condensed these 8 pages, which 5 of them were splash pages, into 2 pages, and then you have to explain why Mr. Fantastic and Namor are there.
Right. It is. You're right.
And it's taken so long to get. this comic is getting ridiculous. It's 3 issues and nothing happens.
And it's
until the end.
The decompression is
this should have been now. The more I'm reading it, this usually should have been a 3-issue miniseries, not even a 4, because they haven't gotten anywhere in the first 3 issues.
The decompression is kind of suspect, and I know it's Brubaker wanting to put all these little character moments in there and stuff, but after a while, you're like, okay, come on, let's get the story going. Especially when you're hitting me for like $4 every time. And yeah, the Brian Hitch artwork is cool. And yeah, seeing that scene with Brian Hitch doing his interpretation of the Kree Skrull War is pretty cool. But again,
at the same time, it's like there's like 5 or 6 pages in this comic which are double splash pages or single splash pages, and then to retell the entire Kree
Skrull War,
to go on until which that actually takes up like 8 pages, and not until the last page do you understand why they're showing it to you.
Exactly.
Again, they need to show the whole fucking thing. They just need to show 2 pages.
Yeah, you can do a couple. I mean, there was a lot of. Yes, there was a lot of lingering in certain scenes that you didn't need to have. Yeah. So, no, you're right there.
I mean, this is the 8th page is the payoff, but again, it just took too long to get there.
Right.
There's just so much wasted space in this comic. The coolest thing, though, that I didn't see coming, which I thought was awesome, was when Falcon shows up. That was awesome. That was actually a cool scene. Awesome. And I'm kind of glad
because it advances the story.
Exactly. That's kind of like
happening at that point, right?
Happening, but it was cool the way Falcon got in there and was taking him down. And yeah, the last 4 pages were were pretty cool.
The only thing I'm not understanding right now, and this is kind of a continuity thing, is the whole Natasha in the middle of this, and yet Natasha right now is in Norman Osborn's hands. In the whole Thunderbolts Secret Warriors crossover. So how all these events line up are kind of, I'm a little befuddled. I know this isn't happening at the same time, obviously, but, if someone could explain to me the chronology here,
and the Thunderbolts are in here, too.
And the Thunderbolts are in there, too, right. So, I don't know.
Yeah, and this whole deal with the Reds, I didn't get that whole last page. It's kind of ridiculous.
I know. It was just
like the Red Skull taking
moment.
his head and like putting it on his robotic body. It's like, okay.
The Arnim Zola body of all things.
Yeah, I don't know. Wow. I stand by our first review.
Yeah, you
didn't
need that many issues.
Yeah, it's just this is just getting ridiculous.
I understand. But you know what? Everyone's loving this book.
Are they?
Yeah, Newsarama and CBR have praised it.
Well,
this is Ed Brubaker's crowning moment, really. People are loving it. They're loving it.
Sad.
I'm just saying, people are loving it. So.
Well, but I mean, do anybody of consequence actually liking it? Because CBR fucking loved Jeff Loeb's last issue of Hulk.
And yeah, but again, but it's selling though. The book is selling, just like Captain America Reborn is selling.
Yeah, but
I know not the top numbers.
It wasn't
like
number
you
one
said.
though, because I think the numbers actually went down for the second issue, and the second issue for Blackest Night beat it, which was good to see.
Right.
So, and we're going to talk about that too. But I mean, I think people are already like fed up with this book.
You think so?
After the second issue.
Yeah, and I think. Do you think it would make a difference if it wasn't a $3.99 book?
If it was a $3.99 book, I wouldn't be bitching about it so much.
Okay, so like if it was a $2.99 book.
Yeah.
How about this? If it was a $2.99 book and it was taking place in the regular Captain America series, all that.
Then I would think it would be better. I would still have problems, obviously, with the storytelling, but
it would
be
make
better.
more sense.
Because I think they're giving you extra pages in here for the $3.99, but they're filling those extra pages up with splash pages that wouldn't be in there if it was just in a regular 22-page comic book. Do you see what I'm saying?
No, you're right.
I think that's why it's even getting ridiculous with the decompression, because it's the same amount of story that could be told in a 22-page or even less than that.
Yeah, but then you have people who are talking about this incredible artwork that Brian Hitch is giving us with those splash pages. Like you talk about Ed McGuinness on Hulk. Jeff Loeb admits he writes all those splash pages because he feels that's Ed McGuinness' strength. Brubaker is saying, hey, Hitch, have some fun with it. I'm going to give you all these splash pages to draw.
So he's giving them fun, and then we have to pay the extra $1 because he wants to let them have fun. How about making the fans happy first before making
You would think that would translate to the fans, but for some it is. For others, it's not.
Obviously.
All right. In either case, the verdict on Captain America Reborn is the story's just taking too long to tell.
Yeah.
And it's kind of sad. I mean, not sad. It's just a little disappointing because, again, I love Brubaker's stuff. So
I'm just waiting for Criminal to come back up. That's my Brubaker book is Criminal. So
yeah. All right. When we come back, we'll talk about the other event that's going on, and that I know some of you were a little bit miffed at what Comic Book Club said about it.
Oh.
See you in the next segment.